The Sports Scouting Report with Lee King. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee King.
Hi everyone, Lee King with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We've got a great show today. Al Jones is our guest. You're going to get to know Al Jones. We're going to talk about a lot of football. He played at Tulane, principal, coach, almost 40 years. He'll tell you how many. I'm just guessing. Look, he looks like he's just started coaching yesterday. His son, Chad Jones, played at LSU. Rahim Alem played at LSU. They both made all SEC. How often do you see a man with two kids have two sons go to one college and they both make first team all SEC? And the SEC will be back with more of the Sports Scouting Report.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back, Lee King, your host, the Sports Scouting Report podcast. Before we introduce Al Jones, I want to thank the Giulio's Italian Brothers Restaurant on Perkins Road. If you've never been here before, they're open 7 days a week. They have the best brunch in Baton Rouge, I think, from 10:30 to 2. They even have their regular menu on brunch. You can get Italian food and breakfast. What a combo, man. And then during the week, great wines. If you like great wines, great homemade Italian food. I like chicken parmesan, spaghetti. I'm old-fashioned meatballs, and garlic toast. I love the garlic bread. Man, it's unbelievable. Mike Johnson, appreciate your support with our show. Also want to thank Superior Grill and also the Marriott Hotel, which is putting up a couple of coaches later that are coming on from Captain Shreve, the Marriott Hotel in Baton Rouge, run by Ralph Ney on Hilton Avenue. I want to go ahead and introduce Al Jones. Al, thank you, man, for being on.
How are you today?
Appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate you having me.
I mean, Al has a place here in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, works in New Orleans, and has raised two incredible, I want to say kids now, they're grown men. Chad Jones, who played at LSU, and Rahim Alem. Rahim was a defensive end if you're under the age of 25 and you don't remember, right? And Rahim went to St. Augustine High School, Purple Knights, his whole career. But Katrina had Chad finish at Southern Lab, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Senior year and junior year.
Junior, senior year.
And I wanted to share this with you, Al, and I met you years ago at Douglas High School when you were coaching there. And I met Chad and Rahim when they were little. They must have been on sick leave with Daddy. They were with Daddy that day. And I met them, and you were telling me they're going to grow up to be great players and great students. And that's what stuck out to me, that you've always been big on academics. Mm-hmm. And before we finish the show, we'll get into that and what Al's doing now. But both your kids were really good students, and they got that from you being an administrator.
No, I can't take credit for that, Lee.
The mama?
I got that from my wife.
The mama?
Yeah, Miss Patty don't play. So they take after her.
She's going to like that you said that, too.
Well,
you're being honest.
Just telling the truth.
But seeing Chad grow up and then watching him at St. Aug to start out and then Southern Lab, there's something I want to share with you. There was a hit against Scotlandville, Brandon Bolden. And if you don't know who Brandon Bolden is, he played in the NFL. I think he's still in the NFL with the Patriots. But I've never seen a safety in high school come up and hit a 6-foot, 220-pound running back, pick him up and drop him down like he weighed 150. It looked like a Jack Tatum hit. where
Yeah.
the helmet went this way and the player went that way, but it was a legal hit.
It was a legal hit.
And I'm like, who's this young kid? It's Chad Jones from St. Aug. He's now at Lab because, things were moving so fast.
Right.
But had an incredible career at LSU. Rahim had a great career. I read that Rahim had 25.5 tackles for losses at LSU and almost 15 sacks. Impressive career for the two boys.
They did pretty good. They did pretty good. I'm very proud of them. Their results, they did pretty good.
We got some pictures that we are going to show of Chad, and I want to go ahead because when we put the pictures in, we have a picture of Chad and Rahim that Al gave us to use. We've got a picture of Chad sacking the Alabama quarterback, which I know LSU fans love that. It might be McElroy. And then there's a picture of Chad Jones sacking the guy at Georgia Tech. It might be the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And then an NFL picture of Chad with the Giants. And then Chad with Jared Mitchell, LSU baseball. And we'll talk about that later in the show. But also I want to show Al Jones, Tulane pitcher, when he played at Tulane.
You found that? Wow.
What'd you think of Tulane? What
Oh,
happened
man.
this year? Being a year
Outstanding
along.
job, man. They really put it together. Coach Fitz has done an outstanding job. Compliments to them. Just goes to show you, hard work and determination pays off.
Al, how did your recruitment go? Tell everybody back in the day how it's so different than today. There was no portal, no, you weren't getting, it wasn't legal to get paid publicly or whatever.
Oh, man.
There wasn't no 27,000 channels to watch high school all-star games.
Man, we got a bunch of letters in the mail from different people, just letters. I just remember vividly on signing day, 7 o'clock in the morning, Coach from Tulane, Coach Big U was knocking at my door, and we just did paper signing. No fanfare. It was just a conversation, and Tulane was the one that did a good job. That's the year they had the Superdome coming in.
From Tulane Stadium, the Superdome.
Well, my freshman year was the first year the Tulane played in the Superdome.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So that was a big sell,
Wow.
and it was close to home. So, and then Tulane was a pretty good school, good academic school.
Tell everybody you went to high school, St. Aug.
I'm a Purple Knight. Went to St. Aug.
Got the purple on today.
Yeah. Fortunately, the company I work for now, our colors are purple. I've always been able to stay around some purple.
Yeah.
LSU.
LSU purple.
Yeah. But there's no way I can compare anything else to my high school days. Some of the best times of my life, and it's still close to my heart. And they're still doing an outstanding job. They're still in the job, in the business of educating kids. That's
I
what they
want
do.
to mention this, and none of this is going to surprise you being an alum of St. Aug, Purple Knights. But I saw an article online that this is going back to 2014. 33 alumni from St. Aug were drafted. Now that's 14. That's not the last 8-9 years. 33. They had a reunion in 14. 33 drafted players. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that something else?
Outstanding. And other than being drafted, they had to graduate and be academically prepared.
What was it like going to St. Aug as a teenager, academically?
I often tell people that I've learned a lot from St. Aug, and the camaraderie was just excellent. It's probably one of the best experiences I have in my life, being around that situation.
How special was it for one of your sons to be able to go there? We're both prior to Katrina, but for them to follow and go to the same high school you went to.
Man, that's sometimes when you sit down and you think of things, you dream of things, and for all three of us to have that same experience, you can't pay for that, man. It's just a great experience for all three of us. Chad didn't get a chance to go through the full experience, but he did experience a lot of it. It's just a great feeling.
We're going to talk more about Tulane because I got to get out of you what it was like for them to beat USC and how much of the game you watched. And
I watched all
I know being an alumnus, that was making you happy and proud there, and a lot of Tulane people were happy, and I was happy they beat USC. I was watching it. I was flipping from LSU to Tulane and watching both bowl games. But we'll be right back with more Al Jones. We'll be back in just a moment.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. Al Jones is our guest. Al, we've got to talk a little more Tulane, man, because I know those Tulane people, they're giving me a hard time not talking more about it. But you played there. You were a very good player for Tulane. Went to St. Aug, as we mentioned. But what are you feeling late in the third quarter when it's like 42-42? Did you think Tulane was going to be able to match USC and keep up with those guys and win it?
I had seen Tulane about 3 or 4 times prior to that game. And yeah, I thought that they were going to do just what they did, fought back. You know, you never knew the outcome, but I thought they were going to keep fighting, and they did. They did, and they fought to the end, to the very end. And that was just an outstanding catch at the last catch.
Tight end.
That's just preparation.
They got the replay call, too.
Yeah.
They said he didn't catch it at first. And Spears, what a running back, huh?
Right. Outstanding, man.
From Ponchatoula?
Yeah.
Was in the Senior Bowl the other
pretty
day.
good in the Senior Bowl. Yeah.
Weldie Moore was a great Tulane back. Matt Forte. He's going to be up there with those guys, huh?
Yeah, I played with his father, Gene.
Come on.
Yeah, Gene was a big defensive tackle for us.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. At Tulane. So, yeah, I'm just proud of Tulane. I'm happy for them. You just can't match what they did.
I want to mention, we talk about Rahim's stats at LSU, but Chad Jones's stats were pretty good, number 3. But in high school, Chad had 138 tackles his senior year, 12 interceptions, 12 touchdowns rushing, and ran the ball for over 700 yards. He never left the field at Southern Lab.
No. He came as an unknown kid. They didn't know he was just a kid from New Orleans, from Katrina. And he blossomed. And all of a sudden, that's Chad Jones now. They changed my name to Chad Jones' daddy.
Chad Jones' daddy.
They didn't know my name.
Like Al, who's Al?
Yeah, I'm Chad Jones' daddy. I was them boys' daddy for a while, So, yeah.
But what was that like following 2 boys at LSU at the same time? I know one went in before Rahim was older, but to follow 2 boys. And I heard through the grapevine that you and your wife wore their jerseys at every game, one in the front and one in the back.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true. We had interchangeable jerseys. For instance, for example, if I had number 84 in the front, we have Jones 3 in the back.
Okay.
And my wife would wear the opposite. She'd have 3 in the front and Alem 84 in the back of the jersey. And one of my friends made it for us, and we had them in different colors, and we wore them every game. Yep, and some people wanted to know what that meant. They didn't associate them being brothers.
Yeah.
Because of the name.
Yeah. And
because of the way they look. Because Rahim looks more like my wife, and Chad looks more like I do. So they never thought they were brothers.
Wow.
Because one of the trivia questions on the team was who was Chad Jones' brother.
Wow.
And so
but when they saw your
the
shirts,
bios were different.
But when they saw your shirts, they knew they were your parents.
That,
Your parents.
Yeah. But the bios were different, so it was fun. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
Great experience. I wouldn't change it for the world.
And you told me some trivia I didn't know about your sons, but they're the only. What now? Tell me this.
I was told that they were the first set of brothers on LSU's football team to win a national championship at the same time.
Isn't that crazy?
They had brothers win them, but not on the same team.
Wow.
So that was eye-opening and a great experience for them.
That's a heck of a run and to be a part of all that, huh?
Yeah,
Al?
yeah.
And speaking of that, since we're talking about Chad, third-round pick of the Giants in 2010, this is what's amazing. Drafted 3 different times by the major leagues. 13th round, 9th round, 50th round. I mean, they kept trying to get him to go pro baseball in high school. They drafted him after the wreck, which was incredible.
Exactly.
Even though his ankle was not mended, he still went to Major League Baseball after that.
Cincinnati Reds.
Unbelievable.
Right. Just super athlete, blessed kid. He did everything that he needed to do. He did everything people told him to do, and as a result, he was very successful.
Chad got a Super Bowl ring with the Giants, a College World Series ring with the baseball team at LSU in 2009, a BCS National Championship in 07. I mean, trifecta. I mean, what else? Isn't that crazy? Not a lot of kids get that.
Outstanding.
Isn't that something? And you did you go to Omaha and watch?
Did I go to Omaha? Yes, indeed. I was there.
Were you a baseball guy?
I became a baseball guy.
Your boys played.
I followed Chad enough to become a baseball guy.
He had a 2.75 ERA that year, which is incredible as a reliever. A lefty.
Yeah.
Throwing 90 plus.
Yeah.
Not many do that.
Nope, not many.
Jared Mitchell was a great player on that team with your boy Chad. And
Jared Mitchell was the MVP of the World Series.
World Series.
Yeah.
Only 2 college athletes, Jared Mitchell and Chad Jones, to both claim a BCS title and a baseball title in the same year. A lot of firsts with your boys.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. So once again, I mean, I'm proud. I have to be proud of them. I'm proud of them and happy for Chad, Rahim, and of course Jared also.
And you're a Tulane guy, played Tulane, still love Tulane. But what was it like to experience Tiger Stadium, Al, as a dad? I know you played against LSU.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get a better experience than that. I mean, if you're a football person and you go to Tiger Stadium, and the tailgating and the games and the cheering, you know, it was just a great experience, and I loved every minute of it. And I wish I could experience it again.
Y'all did a lot of traveling that whole time.
Oh, man, we went to every game. For the last 4 or 5, probably 6 years in a row, we went to every game.
I've never told you this, but I was in New Orleans for the national championship game. And it ended. And I was like everybody else. I was walking, I don't know if it was Bourbon Street or one of those warehouse district, and I saw Rahim. And he was so excited and happy. And I high-fived him. This must have been like 1 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. He was good. Everything fine. But I was like, hey, national championship. He said, you got it.
He's a very emotional guy, enthusiastic about everything he does. Yeah.
Tell everybody what Rahim's doing now, and Chad. What are they
Rahim
doing?
is in his last semester of law school at Loyola University.
Okay.
Chad is working with the Wyndham Hotel in New Orleans, and he's doing a couple other things, property management. They're both doing very well, doing good, and they loving life and enjoying everything, and they got families and kids, 5 grandkids.
Oh, there you go. You busy. Speaking of that, when we come back, I want to talk about what Al's doing now to help kids and youth in our country and in New Orleans. We'll talk about that, and we're going to brag on Al a little bit more. And we wanted to talk about Chad and Rahim, the sons, and we even got his wife in there. She's going to love this. We got to mention Mama, who was a big factor in everything too. But we'll be right back with more of Al Jones.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We have Al Jones today. Be sure to subscribe for free if you like the show. It helps us grow. Hit the subscribe button, like and share, or go to wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Podbean is who hosts our podcast, or wherever you get your podcast, or go to Twitter or any social media outlet. We're probably on it. But I appreciate Al being with us today, Al Jones, taking the time. Al, before we talk about what you're doing now, we're talking about St. Aug, and I didn't know this. This is right before I got into it in the magazine, but in '86, you were the defense coordinator at St. Aug High School, and you coached some really impressive players, especially Lonnie Martz, who went on to Tulane and was all-conference, played 11 years in the NFL. He was your DN at the school. He was one of your guys.
Yep. Lonnie was a first-year player. Did a standing job. Played for Tulane. Yep. Played for Kansas City, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Man.
NFL 11 years. Outstanding young man. He has his own foundation now. I was a defensive coordinator from 81 to 86.
Man.
Coached some outstanding young men. Leroy Horde.
Unbelievable running back.
Yeah. Tyrone Hughes.
Played for the Saints,
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Leroy, Michigan.
All that. Leroy Horde in Michigan, yeah. So the list goes on, and I don't want to start calling names because these guys didn't go to the NFL. Don't mean they weren't outstanding young men.
I have a question for you. We're going to have fun with this. I want to get your thoughts, being that you're a St. Aug grad.
Okay.
There's been many great St. Aug graduates play football. And look, Google this when the show's over, but they hold the record for most NFL players drafted from a high school in Louisiana. I've got my favorite 4 of all time.
Your favorite 4.
And I'm going to ask you your favorite. Like just the 4 that you would say would be your 4 favorite to ever come out of St. Aug. Mine's Tyrann Mathieu, Leonard Fournette, Leroy Horde, and even though your son didn't graduate there, he started there, Chad Jones.
Okay.
The 4 that just caught mine and went, whoa. And there's been many, right? I mean, and I know you coach many.
Yeah. Well, okay. Rahim Alem, Al Jones Jr.
The other son.
Outstanding defensive end. Chad Jones.
You got to have the boys in there. You got to have your 2 boys in there.
Yeah, I'm biased. Chad Jones. Lonnie Martz.
Okay.
Outstanding young man. I'm really stuck on calling names, but I had a group of young men, and I'm just gonna put all of them in for the 4th. For the 4th
years you were there.
Yeah, the 4th would be all the young men I coached because they were just outstanding, and it's not a tier because they didn't make the NFL. I mean, they weren't great young men.
Right.
So I just give my hats off to St. Aug. I mean, that would be my 4th.
Yeah.
Just all the young men that graduated from St. Aug.
You know a guy that went to St. Aug that people don't remember went there, and he wasn't a great player in the NFL, but he played in the Rocky movies.
Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, yeah.
He played in 3 Rocky movies, but
Yeah.
he went to St. Aug.
Yeah, Purple Knight, yeah.
What was his name? Apollo
Carl,
Creed.
Apollo Creed
Apollo
in the movie,
Creed.
yeah.
But
Carl,
he was a
Carl
St.
Weathers.
Aug guy. Now I think he had a cup of coffee in the NFL 2 or 3 years with the Raiders.
I'm not sure, but he did play football.
Played football at St. Aug.
Mhm.
Finished in California.
Yeah.
Where he moved with his family.
Yeah.
But Carl Weathers with the Rocky movies.
If we start going down the list
Yeah,
now,
I know, it's deep.
we have a bunch of young men
Former
that doing,
mayors, former everything.
Yeah, someone in your profession,
Oh,
ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, big time. 2 of them.
Yeah.
Two guys in the ESPN.
Stanley Verrett.
Stanley Verrett's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Always gives back and uses New Orleans too a lot.
Yeah, always.
And talks about LSU and the Saints.
Season ticket holder for Saints. Yeah, he's always coming back. Yeah.
Was he before you? After you? Right.
I taught him in high school.
You taught him.
Yeah.
Did you ever say, "Hey, one day this guy's going to be on ESPN"?
I said that one day this guy's going to be successful. I didn't know he was going to be on ESPN.
I mean, he's the lead guy right now.
Yeah. Stanley, yeah.
Is it 6 o'clock Sports Center? He's the lead guy.
Something like that. Yeah.
You ever talk to him still?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah. Stanley's an outstanding young man.
Al, been administrator, principal, coach. Tell everybody what you're doing now at Family Justice Center and how you're helping the youth, not just in New Orleans, but trying to get the message out to help kids.
Well, right now, I have an outstanding job. I work with the New Orleans Family Justice Center. We went to RPE grant, Rape Prevention Education Program,
Okay.
and we're funded under the La Fossa grant, Louisiana Foundation Against Sexual Assault. Our organization, we're basically a one-stop shop for any survivor that's a victim of domestic violence, sexual assault, sex trafficking, child abuse, on anything along those lines. And in our organization, we have the forensic lab, we have temporary housing for a victim, we have counseling, we have advocates, we have social workers. We actually work with the police social worker department in our building. Now, what I do, we have some curriculums, some programs, and some resources that I go out to different schools, groups, and organizations, and I teach about healthy relationships.
Okay.
How to build healthy relationships. And the goal is to decrease domestic violence. By the way, this month is the Teen Violence Awareness Month.
Okay.
And once again, all those curriculums and those resources and those programs that I go out and teach, it helps decrease. The goal is to decrease sexual assault, domestic violence.
And I want to put this on the camera. This is the company providing Pathways to Hope. The main office, you see the number here to call, 504-592-4005. The hotline number right below it. Or go to the website, nofjc.org.
Wow.
You know, I want to make sure people, and you know, what you're doing is incredible because, like I said, awareness, educating people about what's going on and helping people.
I am the violence prevention coordinator, and it's well needed. And it's Mary Claire Landry, who's our CEO, and my direct supervisor is Ms. Sharon Henry, and our organization does an outstanding job of helping victims of anything along those lines of domestic violence.
Before we go, Al, you coached at Cohen, Douglas, 15 years, St. Aug, many places, principal coach. Was there any coach that made an impression on you to get into coaching, or did you just say, when I got out of college, I want to get in administration one day, I want to be a coach one day?
I knew that I wanted to help young men. I wanted to coach because I saw what coaches did for me. I saw what St. Aug did for me. And it wasn't just about playing football, it's about becoming a young man.
Yeah.
And as I've always said, the thing that I learned most from St. Aug was how to become a man. It wasn't about being the best athlete, it wasn't about being but it was about responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I saw all my coaches, how they worked with us, how they groomed us, how they molded us. I never thought I would be an administrator, but I wanted to be an educator.
It just kind of grew into that.
And I grew into it, and I guess one of my principals that I worked with, Mr. Shane Williams, he saw something in me. He said, you can help more young men by being more of a leader.
Yeah.
And that was about being an administrator. And he told the truth.
Well, this man's been dedicated, not only raising two great kids, two boys, but I remember when he was commuting from Baton Rouge to New Orleans every day for school.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
I mean, every morning.
Yeah.
How long did you do that? How long did you commute?
About 2 or 3 years, and then
I
I was able to just settle down temporarily in New Orleans and in Baton Rouge. Still doing it.
Al, appreciate what you're doing to help people. Appreciate it. And one day, or is the horizon ever return to coaching one day when you retire to come back in it?
You know, man, you never know.
Keep the door open.
You never know. I still love working with young men. Still love working with kids. I'm still in the schools. Still teaching.
Before we go, who's going to the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the
Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know, man. I would love to see Kansas City again.
Okay.
Only because I just more familiar with some people with Kansas City.
He's shaking our producer.
Well, hey, you know, but that's why I don't bet on games.
Right. You never know what's going to happen. I think Philly will win it, but you don't know.
Right. But I love to see a good football game.
Yeah. I like defense. So Philly's got the defense. That's what I'm basing it on. Defensive guy. We'll see. Offense against defense, huh?
Football players against football players.
There you go.
That's where I see it.
Thank you, Al.
No, Lee, thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate Al Jones taking the time to come on. We'll see everybody on Monday. The following week, we've got a great show again. We'll have either a high school coach, recruits, or an ex-NFL player, or ex-LSU Tulane player, or even Louisiana Tech, or maybe ULL. We'll see you on Monday.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Burkeen.